The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner has officially confirmed the cause of death for Rob Reiner and his wife, Michele. This confirmation, released just hours ago, answers questions that have been circulating since Sunday, December 14th, when the couple was found dead in their Brentwood home. But what makes this update significant is not just what it confirms, it's how that confirmation reframes everything we know about Rob Reiner's final 24 hours. The timeline, the events, the moments that seemed normal at the time. Stay with me as we break down the official findings and walk through the verified timeline leading up to this tragedy. On Wednesday, December 17th, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner released official documents confirming the causes of death for Rob Reiner, 78, and Michele Singer Reiner, 70. According to page 6, which verified the medical examiner's report, both died from multiple sharp force injuries. The manner of death for both Rob and Michele was officially listed as homicide. This confirmation came just hours after their son Nick Reiner made his first court appearance since his parents' deaths. The medical examiner's findings align with earlier reports from law enforcement sources that stated the couple was found stabbed to death. However, this marks the first time the cause of death has been officially confirmed by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's office. The timing of this release, coming 3 days after the discovery of the bodies, is standard procedure in homicide investigations. Rob Reiner was one of Hollywood's most celebrated directors and actors. He directed iconic films including This Is Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, and A Few Good Men. He first gained fame in the 1970s playing Michael Meathead Stivic on the hit sitcom All in the Family. Michele Singer Reiner was a photographer and producer who worked alongside her husband on several projects. The couple married in 1989 after meeting on the set of When Harry Met Sally. They had been married for over 35 years and had 3 children together, Jake, Nick, and Romy. This case has drawn massive attention, not only because of Rob Reiner's status as a Hollywood legend, but also because of the circumstances surrounding the deaths. On Monday, December 15th, the Los Angeles Police Department confirmed that Nick Reiner, 32, was arrested on suspicion of murder. On Tuesday, December 16th, Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Huckman announced that Nick had been formally charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder with a special circumstance of multiple murders. He also faces a special allegation that he personally used a dangerous and deadly weapon, specifically a knife. These charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. Let's walk through the confirmed timeline of Rob Reiner's final 24 hours based on verified reports from multiple news outlets. On Saturday night, December 13th, Rob and Michele attended comedian Conan O'Brien's Christmas party at his Brentwood home. This was a star-studded event attended by numerous Hollywood figures. Multiple sources told the Los Angeles Times and People magazine that Rob and Nick got into an argument at the party. According to the Wall Street Journal, Nick asked actor Bill Hader 3 strange questions during the party. What's your name? What's your last name? Are you famous? Rob had introduced Nick to Hader earlier in the evening, and sources told Page 6 that Nick pestered other partygoers with the same questions and was eventually asked to leave. Another source told TMZ that Nick stuck out at the formal event because he was dressed in a hoodie while other guests wore more formal attire. A lifelong family friend told the New York Post they had had an argument at Conan's holiday party, and Rob had been telling people that they're scared for Nick and scared that his mental state was deteriorating. Sources told People magazine that Nick was freaking everyone out, acting crazy with guests at the party. Rob and Michele left Conan O'Brien's party after the confrontation with Nick. That same Saturday, Rob's daughter Tracy saw her father at a family gathering. She later told NBC News that she had seen him just one day before his death. Everything appeared normal from her perspective at the time. There was no indication of what was to come. Early Sunday morning, December 14th, surveillance video obtained by the New York Post showed Nick walking through a Sinclair gas station in Brentwood. TMZ spoke with multiple employees at this gas station who said the Reiner family frequented the location regularly. One employee stated they last saw Nick about 2 weeks prior to Sunday, recalling he looked tired and was unusually standoffish. The employee said Nick's demeanor was very different compared to 2 months earlier when he was social and friendly. On Sunday morning at the gas station, employees said Nick did not appear to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol, but looked drained and abnormal. Later Sunday morning, according to Page 6, Nick checked into a Santa Monica hotel using his own credit card. Witnesses told TMZ that his behavior immediately stood out. He appeared unsettled, and the reservation was made for just one night. When hotel staff later entered the room, they reported discovering evidence that immediately drew the attention of investigators. LAPD detectives would later visit the hotel as part of the homicide investigation. That same afternoon, at approximately 3:30 p.m., emergency crews were called to the Reiners' Brentwood home. Rob Reiner and his wife Michele were found deceased inside. By Sunday evening, just hours later, Nick Reiner was located by authorities and taken into custody on suspicion of murder. Days later, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner released official findings confirming that Rob and Michele died from multiple sharp force injuries and ruled both deaths a homicide. That confirmation did more than answer how they died. It clarified earlier reports, solidified the timeline investigators had been building, and gave new weight to events reported in the final hours before the tragedy. While the official cause of death is now known, investigators say key questions remain, including motive and the exact sequence of events inside the home. Those answers are expected to emerge as the legal process continues. Here's what has been officially confirmed by authorities. Nick Reiner, 32, was arrested on Sunday, December 14th at 9:15 p.m. on suspicion of murder. On Tuesday, December 16th, Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman announced formal charges. 2 counts of first-degree murder with a special circumstance of multiple murders, plus a special allegation of personally using a dangerous and deadly weapon, specifically a knife. Nick is being held at LA's Twin Towers Correctional Facility without bail. An arraignment is scheduled for January 7th, 2026. Nick's lawyer, Alan Jackson, told reporters outside Los Angeles Municipal Court on Wednesday,
I just have a couple of quick words. First of all, and most importantly, this is a devastating tragedy that has befallen the Reiner family. We all recognize that. Our hearts go out to the entire Reiner family. There are very, very complex and serious issues that are associated with this case. Those need to be thoroughly but very carefully dealt with and examined and looked at and analyzed. We ask that during this process you allow the system to move forward in the way that it was designed to move forward, not with a rush to judgment, not with jumping to conclusions, but with restraint and with dignity and with the respect that this system and this process deserves and that the family deserves. So with that, we are set for January 7th for an arraignment. That's the next court date, and that's all I have to say at this point. There may be more at some other point, but today we're going to rest on where we stand procedurally, which is this was a continuance of arraignment. Nothing happened today substantively. We'll be back for an arraignment in the same department on the 7th of January. We'll see you then.
District Attorney Hochman stated that these charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. He added that no decision has been made at this point regarding the death penalty, but that the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office will take the thoughts and desires of the family into consideration if Nick is convicted. What remains under investigation: the specific motive behind the deaths, the exact sequence of events inside the Brentwood home, whether the murder weapon has been recovered. Page 6 reported that LAPD Robbery Homicide Division detectives went to the Pierside Santa Monica Hotel on Monday to gather evidence and interview employees, and that police searched Nick's hotel room for the murder weapon. However, authorities have not confirmed whether the weapon was found. The timeline of Rob Reiner's final 24 hours is now clear. Saturday night at Conan O'Brien's party. An argument with his son, concerns expressed to friends about Nick's deteriorating mental state. Early Sunday morning at a gas station. Sunday afternoon, the discovery of 2 bodies. Sunday evening, an arrest. And now, 3 days later, official confirmation of the cause of death. On Wednesday, Rob and Michele's children, Jake and Romy, released a statement. They said, Words cannot even begin to describe the unimaginable pain we are experiencing every moment of the day. The horrific and devastating loss of our parents, Rob and Michele Reiner, is something that no one should ever experience. The arraignment is scheduled for January 7th, 2026. As the case moves through the legal system, more details will likely emerge. For now, what is known is this: the official cause of death has been confirmed. The charges have been filed, and a family is grieving the loss of two people who were not just Hollywood icons, but parents, partners, and friends. The importance of verified information cannot be overstated. The respect for family privacy must be maintained. And the memory of Rob and Michele Reiner's contributions to film, activism, and society will endure.